Nutrients matter more than cleanses. A very important topic. We've been talking about detoxification recently because we will be having a class, or it's a detoxification event, not just a class. We'll be talking about detoxification, what it is, and getting into the details, why you need to know about it in our modern day, because we've got so many toxins in our environment that our body has to deal with. And there's so much stress that we have. So this is a very important topic. We wanted to dive in today what the phases of detoxification are and the nutrients that our body needs in order to complete each phase of detoxification. And so we're going to dive into that today in this video. Again, as I mentioned, we're going to be having a detoxification event here in the Houston area. We'll be hosting it let's see, it's going to be at Glenlock Farms Clubhouse. So if you guys would like to come, contact Nutrition and Health Center 281-440-0024. You'll be able to get the registration information. We would love to have you guys join us. We're going to have food there as well, so you won't be just sitting there listening. We're going to have Q&A too, an opportunity for you to ask questions. You'll be able to fellowship with people that are of the same mindset, looking into taking care of their health naturally. So this is a big topic. We've been diving into a lot of details, Steve. Um, you know, uh, there is confusion around detox these days. Why don't you tell people what you've noticed that people are kind of thinking when they think of detox, and tell us kind of reframe it for them. Tell them what they really need to be thinking about it.
Well, Jason, back in the day over 30 years ago, when we opened up our practice, our big focus was on detoxification. We had specialized medical foods that were balanced for these phases that we're going to talk about, the nutrients, their amounts. And people in that day, the concept was, well, I could just fast and drink water for a few days and that will cleanse me, or maybe I can do a juice fast and that will help me to cleanse. And there are some other crazy things that were being done, like maple syrup and lemon juice and garlic, and they all had some positive nutrient
Yeah.
support, but they were just incomplete. So that's where we're at today. People often have incomplete detoxification, and so they have retention of toxins, and it's just critical. I mean, the neurological damage that can be caused from toxins, not to
Mm.
mention the other parts of the body, they link disease to toxin retention. And we need to make sure our system is really clean and the detox pathways are working at their best.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, so y- basically, folks, detoxification is an essential biochemical process. It's not whether you're going to detox, it's how well you're detoxing is the issue. And that really impacts our health. So, um, what detoxification really is essentially our bodies neutralizing toxins, making them safer, and preparing them for eliminating them from the body. Our body's liver is involved in this process. Of course, the digestive system, the kidneys, the skin, the lungs. And our modern problem that we're having is a huge increased toxin load. This is from processed chemicals in our environment, in our air, in our food, in our water, medications and drugs. All these things are adding to the burden on the body, and the body has to deal with them, has to eliminate them. Plus, we're also dealing with a depletion of nutrients in our foods, in our diet, and our lifestyle. So both of these factors are huge, adding to a weakness of detoxification in a lot of people. And there are health problems that people are dealing with that are directly related to insufficient or very weak detoxification. So, today we're going to dive into the phases, and Steve's going to help you understand the phases of detoxification, what the nutrients are that are involved with that, and how obviously you can support detoxification no matter what level of detoxification you're at, whether you're diagnosed or you have some genetic issue, whatever it is, you can actually support these phases of detoxification with these essential nutrients, and you can actually improve your health. So, Steve, phase one of detoxification, can you dive into that for the folks? Explain them to what the phase one detoxification is and what the nutrients are involved with that.
Well, this phase is called the cytochrome P450 enzyme phase that helps take fat soluble toxins and begin to break them down. It's kind of like the grease that you might get in your kitchen. Greasy, fat soluble things are very difficult to clean up. And this process, when it breaks it down from a fat soluble substance to a more water soluble for excretion, it's a very costly one. There's a lot of nutrients involved, like riboflavin, niacin, B6, B12, folate. And a lot of people will take improper forms of these vitamins, synthetic forms, or the downstream methylated forms that are going to be inefficient and not give the body the longevity of support that it needs for this phase to work appropriately. Now, we need a lot of antioxidants in that first phase as well, because the antioxidants protect the liver, protect the body from itself, from its own washing machine, if you will. The chemicals, for example, you put in a washing machine could eat away at a poor quality washing machine if it wasn't made of a material that was hardy and could take those harsh chemicals. So we add protective things to our body, like vitamin C, vitamin A, ascorbate vitamin C is most important. The tocopherol family of vitamin E's, coenzyme Q10, selenium, zinc, copper, manganese, and multiple flavonoids and flavanols are very beneficial for that. Specifically, we use quercetin, a high quality quercetin, which helps as an antioxidant protect the liver from inflammation. And the reason why you're seeing so much of this NALD, non-alcoholic liver disease, is because we have toxic environments, we lack these nutrients, and our livers are not being protected well enough from these types of nutrients. And we use high quality and high potency milk thistle to allow that for protection and regeneration for specific reasons that the liver uses that milk thistle. Milk thistle is one of the most effective for that phase one. So that's kind of a summary of some of the things that are used in phase one. It's not an exclusive list. There are the things that support it, like when you get into the flavanols and flavonoids, it's a broad spectrum of things that can be used there. So a lot can be utilized here. Now, companies have studied how much of each one of these, and there's special formulas that we put together. We have multiple different formulas. I personally take about 4 or 5 different detox supportive formulas and then their cofactors based on my micronutrient test. We're going to offer a discount for that today. Folks, you can tell if you have a lack in one of these areas and why, for example, a person may go on a detox and they feel great all the way through. Just every day, they're taking their nutrients, they're eating a certain way, and they just come out of this smelling like a rose. Well, then there's others, you give them the same nutrients and they end up in bed. They're so miserable, they're achy, they feel nauseous, they've got headaches. Why? What's the difference in those two people? Well, it's their efficiency of their body's ability to detoxify. That's why we test. We need to know where you're lacking, because then you can't get a bioaccumulation of toxins that leads to disease. And this is why we were so successful starting our business. And today, we still keep that as a core foundational belief system that we support everyone in the nature of detoxification in these pathways.
It's good. Thank you. So, you didn't get as, I guess you did talk about phase two a little bit as
Yeah,
well.
I didn't detail it. Phase two has a lot more
Right.
sulfur compounds,
Yeah, yeah.
amino acids. There's a lot of amino acids in that phase. that are involved.
Right.
And we can test for those, more
Yeah.
B vitamins, magnesium, and then, of course, phase three, the one where once those toxins have been bound up into a water molecule and they get excreted out of the liver, either the kidney is going to pick it up or it's going to be pushed out the biliary tract into the colon. So there you need, adequate fiber support, adequate hydration, and you can even use other types of binders in the gut, like activated charcoal, for example, to bind and excrete more toxic metabolites coming out. So there's a lot of things involved here, and why testing is so important to make sure you're getting efficient elimination and you don't bioaccumulate toxins that lead to disease.
Right. Yeah, folks. So summary here, phase one, liver primarily using enzymes to transform toxins into intermediate compounds, makes them more reactive or responsive to phase two, where at this stage, they're getting toxins more available for the body to grab onto and remove. So making them water soluble and either fat soluble, depending on that pathway. If it's a certain type of toxin that's eliminated better through a certain uh, pathway, it may be a fat soluble. And our body is going to use, as Steve mentioned, these nutrients that are in these different phases. It's important that all these nutrients are supported at the same time. It's not like today you're going to take the nutrients for phase one and tomorrow you're going to take the nutrients for phase two. Your body's going to be doing it like all right in a row together. Like, so you can't necessarily separate them. You want to make sure that you're supporting it all nutritionally together. So that's important to understand. And then he mentioned the elimination component as well. So when these toxins are beginning to come out primarily through the liver and bile ducts, but there are other pathways as well. We've got the kidneys, we've got the lungs, we've got the skin. There are other pathways that some of these toxins are going to come out. We need to make sure that the body is well supported, as Steve mentioned. Fiber is a big, he mentioned binders. Fiber is a big one, making sure we're getting adequate amounts of vegetables, but we can also take a fiber supplement. Having, as he mentioned, the activated charcoal can be helpful as well as a binder. Hydrating is huge. If you just hydrated better, your body would be much more efficient at detoxification. Making sure you're getting adequate electrolytes is involved in that hydration process. So, getting salts, earth salts in your diet. So, sea salt or some sort of other salt that we use a brand called Redmond Real Salt that has a lot of those trace minerals that are present in those earth or sea salts. And then making sure you're allowing your bowels to move, not suppressing bowel movements. That's the important thing. I think sometimes people, Steve, like they suppress bowel movements. They don't allow themselves to go to the bathroom. And that's a huge way that the body's going to eliminate toxins or create a backup. And that's actually a big thing that we've learned over the years that um, the, I guess you could say the medical system at large is kind of creating more problems in the body's ability to eliminate toxins through the bowels. When someone's on medication, and often that medication, certain types of drugs and medications, a lot of them prevent the body's elimination from of toxins through the bowels, and so there's a lot of problems there. So um, the last thing I wanted us to talk on, and if you could mention, Steve, is why do cleanses often backfire? What are the kind of dispel myths, that people kind of are hearing that are being promoted about kind of cleanses and why those will backfire?
Well, Jason, the last thing you talked about before you asked that question is the biggest reason why cleanses often backfire. People are not focusing on having three or more bowel movements not only during a detox, but every day. So they think that term, we say regular bowel movements, means, well, I have one a day and I'm good. They feel like they're good. They don't realize that there's so much fecal material of undigested food or that is just sitting there in their lower bowel, radiating toxins throughout their organ systems, and why literally it causes things like prostate disease and female disorders. I've had guys come in who had high PSAs as high as 18 to 20, and where PSA is around 4 and below is normal. And the prostate is only about an inch from the large bowel, the colon. And we start getting their colon to move, support the detox pathways, and they go back and retest their PSA in a month, and it goes down below the normal range. And we see it time and time and time again. So Dr. Jaffe often says what Dr. Burkitt said, who studied bowel function in different indigenous tribes all over the world. Don't overlook your colon. It won't overlook you. And that's why most cleanses fail. They're not supporting that pathway, not giving you enough support for all three phases. And they may overstimulate phase one, which then makes you feel worse because you're not getting it converted to out of that fat soluble toxin to make it water soluble in phase two, where they call that conjugation phase. So, um, I like the simple truth that to detoxify or detoxification is capacity dependent. The body will heal when it has what it needs. We just have to find out what that is. Get that micronutrient test. Get a hair mineral analysis. There's so many tests that give us detailed information whether we're getting enough support of these nutrients to get that detox pathway continue to support. So you won't be a statistic of heart disease or a statistic of diabetes or other diseases like cancer that your other family members were because they didn't support the body appropriately. And keeping it clean is a big reason why the body does not survive.
That's good. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, folks, it's so important that we support detox. It's an essential thing that our body needs for health and for living well. Um, People are looking into health because they want to improve the quality of their life. A lot of people may be wanting to extend their length of life. Those are things that people are pursuing health, and that's something that may be on your mind. Detoxification is something that our body needs in order for us to live out the years that God appoints to us and to live them well. And so it's something that we want to help you do well. We've provided a detoxification bundle, and I wanted to show that to you here with all the primary nutrients that your body needs to support detoxification. And it has 5 different products. Liver Detox is the one that has most of them all put together in one product, but there are others that are important to the different phases as well. We need the fat soluble nutrient supported through the pure omega-3 fish oils. We need as well, there's a fat soluble nutrients in the Liver Protect that are needed for the fat soluble toxin phase. Then the vitamin C is a water soluble antioxidant. So, water soluble toxins need to be removed and supported through that. And then we've got a brain detox as well, helping relieve the burden on the brain and nervous system. So, this is,
Jason, I will
yes.
say this, the vitamin C is so critical. Even most people, well, it's just vitamin C. I know of people who just take it when they feel like they're getting sick. Absolutely crazy thinking. The daily needs, as determined by Dr. Linus Pauling, who was a medical researcher and received a Nobel Prize on it and took 10,000 milligrams a day of vitamin C. That's a key area that supports detox, protects the liver, and energizes colonic cells to remove waste at a higher rate of toxin removal than anything else can. And so it's one key element that is quite remarkable. We have a C cleanse that we offer to people.
Hmm.
And here's an area where, even though the other nutrients may not be present, it's remarkable how much better a person will feel when they do a C cleanse. Maybe they don't have the finances to support all those other nutrients, at least initially, and they want to, get their
Yeah.
toe in on the nutrition area. And this ascorbate vitamin C will change their life.
Yeah. Number one. It's our number one.
It really
That's
is.
yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, Steve. That's a good point. If you can't get the entire bundle, number one is the vitamin C. Get started with that. That can really help you through detoxification. But folks, this is as we mentioned, we talked a lot about how important detoxification is. Your body is always trying to do it to help you to have better health. So what you want to do is make sure you understand detoxification. You understand what your body needs. And Steve mentioned that if you want to help support your body nutritionally specific to your needs, you can do micronutrient testing at Nutrition and Health Center. If you watch this video, you can get $25 off your next micronutrient test with Nutrition and Health Center, whether you're a client or someone who is new to us. All you'll need to do is contact the front desk, let them know that you heard about the promotion on our Prosper Nutrition YouTube channel, one of the videos there. So if you refer them to that, well, you let them know that you found out on this video. You'll call them at 281-440-0024 to take advantage of that discount. And you can also get a discount on the detoxification bundle and all Prosper Nutrition supplements by using discount code. And I'm going to give it to you right here. It You can use it on your next order. You'll get 10% off your next order. The code is 10226 show. 10226 show, and that will give you 10% off your next order. Um, and we're glad you watched this video. Appreciate you continuing to try to take better care of your health. This is something that we have to all take personal responsibility for. Um, the government isn't necessarily going to help you to detoxify in a healthy way. The medical system isn't necessarily going to help you detoxify in a healthy way. You have to figure out what your body needs in order to do that. And yes, lifestyle, nutrition, if you eat well, if you drink, hydrate yourself well, sleep good, exercise, these things will help support your body's detoxification pathways. But sometimes we get into a health crisis or have some issues that we need some extra support. And that's where supplements will come in. So check out prospernutrition.com, order the detoxification bundle using the coupon code to get 10% off and get started in feeling the difference today in your health. Steve, thanks for sharing all you did. Can you share
You're
one
welcome.
last comment, parting comment to the folks?
Yes, well, we are all excited talking about this. Here it is in January. We're getting pumped up for a new year. We have a detox event coming up January 20th at 6 p.m. in the evening. We're providing dinner. It's going to be a healthy and delicious detox supportive dinner. And you're going to be blessed to be around people who have utilized many of the tools that you will receive. Literally, the cost of this event and your time spent, all of the tools that we'll make available at discounts, like getting an in-body exam discounted, getting having available to you other tools to support detoxification is worth its weight in gold. And we expect this event to fill up pretty quickly. So we really encourage you to sign up quickly so that you can reserve your spot for that event. I'm excited. We haven't done one of these in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And this one is pretty different and special. It's more than we've ever put together. It's going to be quite an event.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. It is. We're looking forward to it. And if you can make it, let us know. Contact Nutrition Health Center at info@nutritionhealthcenter.com or call us at 281-440-0024, and we'll get you the information that you need in order to register for that event. Thank you all for watching. Definitely make sure that you're continuing to support detoxification, understanding it, and helping your body nutritionally with all those phases that it needs to get the junk out and so you can be well. Hope y'all have a great day, a great weekend, and we look forward